Alright, let's get this orientation started. Congratulations, you've been assigned to the night collection routes. Before you ask, yes, the pay is great. The reason for that will become clear very shortly. First things first, these neighborhoods are legally zoned for non-human residents. We don't make the laws, we just follow them. Your job is simple. You are here to remove what they leave behind. You are not here to investigate, you are not here to confront, and you are absolutely not here to make friends. Your survival depends on following protocol. Failure to do so can result in injury, infection, or worse, becoming part of the collection yourself. We've seen it happen. Don't be a statistic. Pay attention, because we are only going over this once. Let's begin with your first stop, the Vampire District. The key thing to remember here is that their trash is active. For several hours after they put it out, it's considered bioactive. If you see a bag leaking a dark, thick fluid, do not touch it. That's a lovely cocktail of anticoagulants and feeding residue. You don't want that on your skin, trust me. Even more important, if a bag pulses or twitches, leave it. That's not your imagination. It means a resident is still feeding nearby, and you're interrupting dinner. The last collector who got exposed to the fluid started bleeding internally, right through his intact skin. He didn't make it. So, keep your gloves on and your eyes open. Next up is the werewolf route. Timing is everything here. We only permit pickup during the new moon. That's the one night they're in their human form and less territorial. If you get to a bin and see fresh claw marks gouged into the plastic or metal, do not approach. Just get back in the truck and mark it as a no-go. Also, never, and I mean never, collect loose items you find on the ground near the bins. Bones, scraps of fabric, anything. Those aren't litter, they're territorial markers. 2 guys from the early crew thought that rule was silly. They were tracked for 3 blocks and torn apart before they could even radio for help. Don't test the wolves. They will win. After that, you'll hit Witch and Warlock Row. This area requires a different kind of caution. Their waste is often contaminated with spell runoff, potion dregs, and remnants of failed rituals. It's magically volatile. Your main guideline here is to watch for specific seals. If you see a bag tied shut with a red or black cord, you do not open it. You don't even move it too quickly. Those are binding spells, meant to contain something. Also, be wary of ash piles, especially if they're still radiating warmth. That was a ritual, and you don't want to be around for the after effects. We had a collector who ignored the warm ash warning. He suffered spontaneous burns, and his internal organs, well, they turned to soot. There wasn't much left to recover. Now, let's talk about troll territory. This is a hazmat situation, plain and simple. Troll waste is teeming with a unique and highly aggressive rot bacteria. Full protective gloves are not optional. They are mandatory at all times on this route. The smell is your best warning sign. If the trash smells like damp stone and moldy, sour meat, do not lift the bag. That means the contamination is severe. One of our guys got a small tear in his glove, just a bit of skin contact. Within 6 hours, he developed septic necrosis. His tissue just dissolved. We take biohazards seriously, and this is one of the worst. Then you have the demon housing block. This is less about physical contamination and more about metaphysical danger. Demonic residents discard things you do not want to interact with. Old contracts, soul remains, binding materials. The #1 rule here is to never, ever read anything you find in the trash, no matter how interesting it looks. Curiosity killed the cat, and it will absolutely get you claimed. Second, if you move a bag and it whispers, drop it immediately and back away. That's not the wind. A collector a few years back found a rolled-up parchment. He thought it was an old map. He read it. Legal filings showed he was claimed by a duke of the lower plains 2 days later. We never saw him again. From there, we moved to the Fey neighborhood. This one is tricky because it preys on your instincts. Fey garbage looks clean. It's often beautiful, ornate, even shimmering. It's a trap. Do not accept any gifts left beside the bins. It might be a shiny apple or a little woven doll. It's not a gift, it's a down payment. And while you're on this route, you never say thank you or sorry. Politeness is a form of contract with the Fae. You acknowledge them, you owe them. A new hire once picked up a beautiful music box left by a bin. He thought it was a lovely gesture. We found him a week later, sitting on a park bench. He was perfectly preserved on the outside, but completely hollowed out. Still alive, but empty. Don't be polite. Be efficient. Next is Gal Alley. This is a grim one. Gals are scavengers, and their refuse contains partially consumed remains. Human, animal, we don't ask. Your job is just to clear it. Rule 1. If bags are stuck together with some kind of organic adhesive, do not try to separate them. Take the whole clump or leave it. Rule 2 is about smell. If you suddenly smell copper, like old pennies, that's the scent of fresh blood. Step back immediately and wait a full 5 minutes before proceeding. Gals have poor eyesight and hunt by scent. Rushing in makes you smell like competition or the next meal. We lost a collector who got impatient. They mistook him for a rival scavenger. Almost done. Let's cover the necromancer apartments. As you can probably guess, their trash has a tendency to be animated. The primary rule: if a bag moves against gravity, meaning it squirms upward or slides sideways on a flat surface, you abandon that pickup. Report it and move on. It's not worth finding out what's inside. And a critical scheduling note: never, ever collect from this block after midnight. That's when ambient magical energy peaks. A few years ago, a crew ran late. They finished the route around 1 in the morning. Their truck was found the next day driving itself down the highway, the cab empty. We had to hire a specialized team to decommission it. Now for a weird one: ghost-occupied homes. Ghosts don't leave physical waste. They discard emotional residue. Regret, sorrow, rage. It congeals into something tangible. You'll find their bins look empty but feel impossibly heavy. If a bin feels heavier than it should, leave it. Trying to empty it is like trying to lift a mountain of grief. Also, do not linger near homes that are completely dark, even if they are on your route list. These are points of intense spectral activity. A collector once waited by a dark house for a few minutes, just checking his phone. When he got back to the truck, his partner said he looked older. We checked the logs. He had aged 30 years in 5 minutes. Finally, the most important rule of all. Rule 10. Mixed occupancy streets. Every so often, zoning gets messy, and you'll find multiple creature types living on the same block. A vampire next to a witch, a werewolf across from a fae. If you identify a street like this, you do not attempt collection. You skip the entire street. Your only job is to report the location to dispatch and wait for reassignment. Don't be a hero. Mixed waste from different supernatural sources reacts in ways we can't predict. It has dissolved entire trucks. Crews too. It's an unstable, explosive, non-negotiable hazard. So, that's the rundown. It's a lot to take in, I know. But every single one of these rules was written in blood. Your blood, if you're not careful. Stay alert, trust your gut, and follow the protocol to the letter. Do that, and you'll make it to sunrise. Welcome to the team. Now, grab your gear. Your shift starts in 10.